Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie and I'm going to be presenting my project on mathematical biology. So how are mathematics and biology related? So mathematics and biology have many different similarities which make them related. There are a ton of different studies using both math and biology. Some of these fields include computational biology, theoretical biology, bio-inspired computing, which is different than computational biology, and mathematical biology, and so on. So today I'm going to focus mainly on mathematical biology. So what is mathematical biology? It is highly interdisciplinary area that defies classification into the usual categories of mathematical research. It involves all areas of mathematics, such as real and complex analysis, integral and differential systems, metamathematics, algebra, geometry, number theory, topology, probability and statistics, as well as computer science. So mathematicians and biologists benefit from each other in working together towards a common goal. There has been many advances in basic science and technology because of this sense of mathematical biology. So how is it used? It's used to understand disease mechanisms, to better medical treatment, to develop a deeper understanding of cancer, diseases of the brain, and human body. It manages health traits such as AIDS, insect disease vectors, antibiotic resistance, and helps fight against them. And because of mathematical biology, it expects to be a longer and better quality of life. So some may ask how it can help the future. It's used to understand computation, gain insight, and prove theorems. It finds better ways to model multi-level systems. It understands probability, risk, and uncertainty, as well as understanding data mining, and it sets standards for clarity, performance, and publication. There are major themes in biological research that I've come across, and that includes cell organization, ecology and ecosystems, evolution and diversity, genome organization and expression, growth and development, immune systems, pathogens, and host defenses, integrative approaches to organism functions and diseases, molecular structure and function, neurobiology and behavior, new technology and industrial biotechnology, as well as plant biology and agriculture. So we see in all these biological research that there is mathematical use in all these areas. There's been a dramatic development in biology and in mathematical and computational sciences since 1989, including radiology, computational biology, and bioinformatics, system biology, and brain science. These developments are yielding new understandings of diseases and epidemics, ecology systems, our bodies, and fundamental life processes. Mathematics, along with the sciences and engineering, has played important roles in most of all of these areas. Here are some questions in biology that I've come across, and this is, how can a brain store and recall many more bits of information than there are neurons? Next question is, how can a complex disease such as malaria that involves humans, insects, and parasite populations, their genetics, immune responses, phenotypic expressions, and life cycle dynamics be disrupted and defeated? And I will go more into malaria at the end of this presentation. And then also, how is the complexity of our body, our organs, our bacteria, our immune systems bounded together to function with intentions beyond any consequent part? And the clear thinking of colonial mathematical structures, the uncovering of their behaviors through theory and simulation, and the collaboration of outcomes with word models and Experimental observations create new knowledge about life. And all of these questions have been shown in a mathematical way. Now I'll get into some examples that we see in the mathematical biology, and the first one is chronic wounds. So chronic wounds represent a major public health problem affecting 6.5 million individuals in the United States. These chronic wounds are often associated with conditions whereby the blood vascular system is damaged. A mathematical model which accounts for these conditions is developed, and computational research are described in the two-dimensional radical symmetric case. So first, the top picture that we see, which is figure 1, is the processes of wound closure. So this is the biology that goes behind the chronic wounds into healing them. And then on the bottom, figure 2, which is the geometry of the wound. So this is the mathematical part that the mathematicians use in order to figure out the different size of the wound and how to ultimately heal it. The next disease I wanted to talk about was the whooping cough, which is a highly contagious respiratory tract infection that is easily preventable by vaccine. So once the whooping cough bacteria are breathed in, they stick to the cells in the nose and throat, and the bacteria starts to reproduce rapidly. As the bacteria reproduce, they produce toxins that paralyze cells in the windpipe and lungs that clear the airways of the mucus. So the mathematical modeling is becoming an increasingly important branch of mathematics, and computers expand our abilities to translate mathematical equations and formulations into concrete conclusions concerning the world, both natural and artificial, that we live in. So the mechanisms by which disease spread have been studied by using the modeling of infectious diseases. So we see through mathematical modeling the different ways that they use these equations to come up with a vaccine to help prevent people from getting this disease. And we've seen with the vaccine that it has dramatically reduced the chances of getting this illness. The next illness I wanted to talk about was malaria, which is just one of the many potentially fatal illnesses that spread through the same mechanism. So the way this is spread is mosquitoes draw blood from infected humans during their blood meals, then inject their infection into other humans during later meals. So mathematical formulas that model how deadly mosquito-borne diseases can spread help medical researchers accurately predict how real-life outbreaks develop and find countermeasures. So using the formulas, the team modeled predictions of the spread of the density of malaria over time by using more than a dozen variables ranging from diffusion time for insects and humans to how long a mosquito took to bite someone. Then they compared the models with the actual spread of the disease as documented by the medical authorities, and they found that the model to be extremely accurate to the two districts. Lastly, I have the HIV and AIDS, which mathematical biologists begin by analyzing the transmission dynamics of the HIV virus, estimating quantities such as the doubling time of the AIDS epidemic and the demographic impact of high AIDS incidence. However, the challenges posed by the HIV/AIDS epidemic required the development of new methodology to address the impact of factors, and these factors include the long and variable incubation period of the disease, the variation of the infectiousness throughout the disease, and the heterogeneity in sexual activity on the patterns of the epidemic, often combining the approach of different disciplinaries, and collaborations between medical statisticians and medical biologists have been particularly fruitful. So overall, biomathematics has been a field in which has grown substantially over the last 50 years. It has found success in modeling biological phenomenons in a variety of areas ranging from ecology to molecular biology. And this runs off of the 4 different examples that I gave during this presentation. And for the future, I hope to see more mathematical biology used throughout our lifetime. And with the technology and resources we have, I really do see it going above and beyond. So thank you for listening to my presentation.